Well, good morning, everyone. Jeff Deepa, Sports Information Director at Calvin University at the annual Calvin Athletics Golf Outing. We're at the Egypt Valley Country Club. First time we've had the outing here at this prestigious course, so really excited to be here. And I'm joined by my favorite point guard, as I've always said, Kevin Van Duyn, the two sports standout, baseball All-American, All-Conference basketball player, and our baseball coach and my next door neighbor in the hallway. Coach, great to
Which is
have you
most
here.
important. Yes,
Yeah,
thanks. Great to be here, Jeff.
yeah. So let's just talk a little bit about baseball right now. You had a very youthful team, set some records on the offensive side this year, but on the flip side, you have a very youthful pitching staff. So you finished right about 500, but I think some excitement for the upcoming year ahead, looking at that young base that you put together.
Yeah, as you always look back a couple weeks from the season, you just kind of evaluate what you had, and we really did. We had a nice offensive club, set some records offensively, hit the ball well, hit for gap, power. But we do like our arms. They're young.
Yeah.
A lot of times you like to bring them in slowly. We were forced to pitch them a lot, and we think that's going to pay dividends moving forward for us.
Yeah, and of course in Michigan, you never know what the weather's going to be like. So the first half of the year was a little spotty with some cold, rainy weather, and then it kind of warmed up and the bats really took off along with it. I mean, you were right in the hunt for an MIAA tournament playoff spot right until that last week or so. It was not an unfruitful season, right?
No, as you look back at the season, there were three of us that were right there. Kalamazoo's credit, they had an outstanding season, but Adrian, Hope, Calvin, Elma, we were all right there, right to the end. And what you're trying to push your kids is to get to that last weekend. And we got to that last weekend. We fell a little bit short. But those last 2 weeks were pressure-filled games, kind of tournament-type games. And I think that, again, is going to help us moving forward.
Sure. Let's go back to what I mentioned at the outset. You were a two-sport athlete here at Calvin. What were your memories of, playing both basketball and baseball? You went to the NCAA tournament in both sports while you were here. Just your thoughts on that.
It's just a tremendous experience. A lot of times as the years pass by, you may forget scores specifically, but you do remember the relationships and the friends, and just walking up and talking to Bill Saul, who obviously was a tremendous player and still close with him. My boss, Doc Timmer, just great relationships with that, but just remembering, the journey. We call it the process of just working hard, and obviously you remember those hope games, the rivalries and things like that. But I do remember going down to Wittenberg a few times and just realizing, we need to get better.
Yep.
We need to get better. We need to get bigger and stronger. But just the relationships that I've continued to have over the years, still friends with Jim Skipper, actually had his son on my staff. So that's the beautiful thing about the family of Calvin.
Yeah, well, and speaking of sons, your own son, you've coached him, and now he's also on your staff, helping out with the pitchers. What's that been like to have Trevor around?
Yeah, I think any father would say that's a special relationship. Anytime you can be around your son is a gift, and then to coach with them and be around him daily, for much of the year is really a gift. And for me, it's been a pleasure just watching him grow as a person, as a coach.
Yeah.
And excited to have him around.
And your own father, Harold, also part of the staff. One of my favorite guys. Love to talk to Harold on a daily basis during the baseball season. He's awesome.
Well, it's the one time I can tell him what to do, so that's a great thing. But no, he does a great job. And as you get into this, whether it's D3, D2, D1 now, it's a production, and you're only as good as your staff. Yeah. And there's so much to be done, and he does a lot of things behind the scenes, and that's just a pleasure again to have him on staff.
And you really do have a nice staff. I mean, Tom Court's really done a great job. Some other people, Rob Hamley, for instance, they all kind of contribute, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, we got a staff of 6, which a lot of people think, wow, but with baseball, right around 40 guys, recruiting, just so much hands-on stuff on a baseball field, you really need to have a staff. Tom has been a great addition. He's from the east side, South Lyons area, is recruiting coordinator, does a great job, and actually got a player out of Mississippi, Georgia, and Florida this past year. So he has done a great job recruiting for us. Rob Hamley owns a facility, a baseball facility in town, does a great job with that, and is able to supplement coaching with his teaching job at Jenison Junior High.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's great to have Coach Kevin Van Dyne by here talking a little baseball, and we're looking forward to seeing the alumni out here on the golf links here today.
Beautiful day, fun day. So looking forward to it. Thanks, Jeff.
All right, Coach Kevin Van Dyne.